Hey Matt, what's up, man?
Hey Greg, we are going live in 1 minute. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
But I still haven't seen the part of your presentation. Can you give me a sample?
Yeah, why not? Check this out. Hello, everyone. So good to be there on the No Code Conf 2021. My name is Greg, and I'm the founder of LearnUX.io and co-founder of Systemflow.co with Matt Wierzbicki. Together, we've created Systemflow, a design framework for Webflow and Figma, enabling us to work faster than ever before. In this presentation, we'd love to share what we've learned along the way. Hopefully, 30 minutes from now, you'll know exactly why it is so important to establish a design framework for Webflow, how we did that for our clients and their design systems, what are key components to frameworks such as design tokens, class naming conventions, component libraries, and much more, and where to start your design framework journey. Let's begin now.
Wow, this is powerful, man.
Told you.
What's next?
Yeah, about that, Matt, I've been pretty busy lately and I just haven't, you know what, actually, I have to go to do some groceries and stuff, so, but you're gonna make it, you're gonna do it. Bye-bye.
Okay. It's a shame Greg had to go. Also, a shame we cannot meet in person in San Francisco. But having this presentation pre-recorded and post-produced has some upsides too. Now that Greg is not here, we can bring his 2017 alter ego via this portal. This way, I'll be able to explain exactly why we have created a design framework for Webflow. We have to be careful though, as Greg from the past cannot meet today's Greg. Otherwise, the universe will collapse. But first, safety precautions. We don't want to send something bad to the past. Okay, let's set the time to November 2017 and...
Hey Matt, how are you doing? And what do you have on your face?
Hey Greg, you won't get it. Can you show me how we used to work in 2017?
Yeah, sure. Do you have a laptop? What on earth? Can you do like...
Oh, thanks man.
That's pretty cool.
Greg, can you show me how we used to transfer projects from Figma to Webflow in 2017?
Of course, man. It's so exciting. Figma, the new kid on the block in 17. So let's see. I'm gonna be quite fast, guys. So be careful. Things can be moving quite quickly on the screen, all right? I have this layout in Figma and I'm going to go top to bottom and translate it into Webflow. So the first section being hero, I have this super shortcut here. If you go to Webflow now, and I'm going to just press Command E and search for a section. Then I'm going to press Command E again, search for the container, put it inside. Matt, that was the proper structure, right?
Wrong. Let me stop you here and show you how we do it in 2021. Now we have two design frameworks, one in Figma for a quick layout and style exploration, and another one in Webflow to implement our designs. We have hundreds of commonly used components and sections ready to use. Each component, section, or style in Figma has the same name and properties as in Webflow. It makes the implementation lightning fast.
This is smart.
You just select and copy the name of the frame in Figma, then you use your magic shortcut Command E, paste what you have in the clipboard, and return. There it is.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Hold on, there is one more thing. We use Keyboard Maestro to automate the copying and pasting procedure. Look, I just launched this automation, and here's what happens. In few seconds, you have the project transferred to Webflow with HTML, fully responsive components, and this happens in real time now.
Wow, this is pretty awesome. It really looks like we have reinvented the process. In my days, this has always been messy. I struggled with depressing blank canvas in Webflow with each project we started. Also, we wasted time on repetitive setup and there was no consistency in the elements we've used. This made maintaining multiple websites troublesome as we had to relearn them as we were revisiting the projects. Now, we operate on a framework that is exactly the same in terms of naming and structure, and with the new auto layout and variants, it even works very much alike in both Figma and Webflow. Okay, Matt, but do we have to redo this for every client of ours?
Glad you asked. We'll get there. First, can you please show me how we used to create classes in the old days?
Oh yeah, classes. Love classes. Right, I'm gonna show you how we did that. It's pretty straightforward, I guess. You just, create a div, then you press command return, and now you just type the class name, such as, let me see, my div, for instance. That's pretty cool.
Cool name, Greg. Not that unique though. At some point, we've analyzed source code for thousands of Webflow websites, and here's what we have found as a class naming conventions. This applies to all design tokens, the values for colors, typography, margins, etc. Before I show you that, can you please showcase how we used to set margins and colors in Webflow?
Sure, man. Let's go with the 24 pixels. Oh, okay. Gotcha. No.
We'll get there.
Hold on. Don't breathe at my shoulder. I'm here. All right. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I've seen enough. Let me show you how we do it now. Having a consistent spacing system means that we don't need to create a new class for each spacing adjustment we want to make. For example, if we are going to add a 16 pixels margin to the bottom of the element, we just need to add a class SMB16 to it, which means spacing margin bottom 16. The same applies to colors. If we want to create a text span with the primary color, we just need to name it CT primary 60, which stands for color text primary 60. The same goes for the background colors. If you want to change the background to a light primary color, we just need to name it CB primary 10, which stands for color background primary 10.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What about typography?
The same. For example, we can easily change heading size by changing the class name from heading M, medium, to heading L, large. Our typography system is also based on rems. It means we can easily specify the base font size for each viewport, and we don't need to change the font size for each text individually.
And what about colors?
That too. I use predefined swatches mapped to the classes. When I change the swatch, it changes everywhere. And guess what? We have also a keyboard maestro automation to move the color palette from Figma to Webflow. So
that's so cool.
So we don't need to do it manually for each client. Hands off, and the automation is running. All important bits and pieces, like that, are now over 1000 predefined CSS classes in the framework. We have classes for typography and colors, where you can define up to 100 design system colors, and also spacing, margins and paddings.
That's awesome, Matt. I think I follow. So before the framework, we had no clear naming convention for classes, and we used to create hundreds of different classes that we could easily override by mistake. That is why we were coming up with all those weird class names. Now, we don't create new classes, but use the predefined ones instead as much as possible. This way, we keep everything consistent and changes are easy to maintain.
Yes, and we can finally answer your previous question.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I get it now. Thanks to that, we keep the base framework the same for every client and every design system we work on, and then we just change the properties in the class definition. This way, we can quickly change all of the fonts and colors throughout the framework. And I also think that I could bet that all the components and sections are based on those classes so that they can change accordingly, right?
You bet. We built system flow to use it in all projects and to restyle it for different themes easily. For example, we can change the font, brand colors, and quickly replace the logo, or any of components' properties. And everything is reflected throughout the framework, in every component, on every page. What is more, we have a living style guide that updates in real time whenever we make a change to a component or a style in Webflow. It is a single source of truth containing all components and styles used in the project, and it reflects our design system.
I got you, man. So before, we haven't had this one source of truth, and we couldn't offer anyone with little design experience the ability to experiment. Now, this seems really helpful across different teams, such as product, helping with easy iterations, and also marketing, having the right components and tokens at hand. So
True.
this way, anyone, even without prior design experience, can easily experiment and prototype in Webflow using just right components and staying in line with the brand guidelines.
Correct. We've also noticed that more and more teams require a style guide, along with a new website. Greg, can you show me how we dealt with the icons in 2017?
Yeah, icons, my favorite. So usually I would just export SVGs, preferably from Illustrator, as Figma's SVGs, can be a bit tricky. And then I would just upload it to Webflow's library. Hold on, I'm just going to do it right now. Okay, something broke. But then I'm going to just use it in the...
Sorry.
Okay.
I will show you. Today we use only one icon library, and we've decided to go with material icons. It contains thousands of accessible and beautiful icons, and the cool part about it is that we don't need to prepare anything in Figma. When we want to use an icon, we just need to find it on the Material Icons website, copy the selected icon's name, and paste it in Webflow Symbols panel. Voila! Changing the colors of the icon is also a child's play. All we need to do is to select the icon element and add a text color class, for example, CT_error60.
Wow, this is brilliant. So yeah, don't tell me who came up with this idea, because I think I know. That was me. So the process we had before, it involved manual SVG and PNG export. That would be a troublesome process of sizing and color decisions and manual work to move it from Figma to Webflow. And nowadays, we just type in the icon's name and we can easily format the color and sizing in the typography panel. And of course, you could use any icon font you like.
Indeed. And now my favorite part. Greg, can you show us one of your final page designs in Webflow in 2017?
Sure, man. Take a look at this one. It's pretty cool. That's learnux.io. Website with my design courses, including tools like Webflow and Figma and Sketch, and you know what? I almost finished it.
Okay, but what about the responsive design?
You know what? I have a cigarette.
Okay, I think I have an idea.
Oh, man.
Hey Greg, how old are you?
I'm 80, Matt. My back is killing me. I should have had this standing desk in my 30s.
So what are you doing these days, Greg?
Yeah, I changed my job. Things went sideways with Figma in 2022. Also, I'm doing this responsive design thing for LearnUX.io, but I'm just finishing this off, man.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye, Matt. Take care. This portal is killing me. Okay, Matt, I'm back.
Okay, so listen to this. Another cool part about the design framework is that all Webflow components are responsive by default. Check out how this previously built layout translates seamlessly into different viewports. It means that we don't need to waste time on designing all mobile screens in Figma and then translating them to Webflow. We just need to create the desktop layout, and that's it. Doing so saves us hundreds of hours each year.
Oh, I get it. So before the design framework, we had to iterate through each section and fix the designs. And oftentimes we had to override the classes across different breakpoints. That was extremely difficult to maintain. And the longer we worked on the project, the more back and forth juggling we had between these designs. And nowadays, we have this out-of-the-box components that are fully responsive, and we can also use classes, as you mentioned, this SMT something thing, that will automatically apply spacing only for tablet and mobile versions. This is awesome, man.
Thanks, Greg. One more thing. I would like to recall how we dealt with some custom code components in the past.
Yeah. I have tons of snippets bookmarked on my Conf pen, and also I have the snippet lab, and we used to hire a developer who customized and maintained all of those scripts that we had for Webflow. Yeah,
Okay,
bit
let
of
me
a
show you
headache.
something cool. In SystemFlow, we have a useful library of code snippets that we called live components. These are simple code components that you can use to display things like countdowns, cookie consents, confetti poppers, and more. They work just like normal Webflow symbols, and you can customize them however you want to match your project styling. Let's say that you want to put a banner to count towards the end of the promotion. You simply grab this banner component from the symbols banner, unlink it, and set the date that you want it to count down to. And that's it.
This is sorcery. So, in the old days, we had to reach out to developers with every single thing that required extra business logic, and we were constantly searching for different snippets that crashed over time. In 2021, we have this clean, reusable library of components hosted on GitHub, and we are constantly adding new ones as we need them.
Exactly.
Matt, I think I have the full picture now. All the small improvements we've made along the way add up to hundreds of hours we save now. We've eliminated repetitive tasks such as project setup, having all the components we can start with in place. We no longer use custom classes, but base on the ones we know and add custom combo classes if we want to further modify them. We can literally set up a website in Webflow in minutes. We mostly use it in our freelance work, but this is a great place to empower your design team with a set of tools based on Webflow.
Faster, Greg.
Many teams we've introduced to SystemFlow are now able to work on their own to create prototypes or landing pages. What's more, thanks to the live documentation we have in place, custom code components ready to use, and other brand assets, anyone in the team, even without prior Webflow knowledge, can easily experiment and express their ideas. This is just a matter of dragging and dropping components on the canvas, and all of them are within the brand guidelines and structure. To sum it up, here are some actionable tips to get anyone started. Map your design system to Figma or any other design tool like Sketch and Webflow. It has to be exactly the same. Create design tokens for colors and spacing, maybe margins and paddings as well. Also, create classes for each token and use the proper naming convention.
Hurry up, Greg.
Also, design components so that you can start working faster using the predefined elements that you can just drag on the canvas. And last but not least, encourage your team members to prototype in Webflow. Oh, one more thing, Matt. If you are so smart, why don't you show me how to effectively drag anything to a parent container in the navigator without getting frustrated?
It's not even possible in 2021. We need to hurry up, Greg.
Hey Matt, how'd you
No.
go? What? What's going on here? Where's your hair, dude? Yeah, and dude, where's your beard? Guys, what's happened? No idea, man. I think I might know. The space has skewed and we are the only people left in the universe. So, yeah, Greg. Yeah? Can you check if Webflow is up? Oh, good question. Let me check that. Yeah, up and running. I think they have some CDNs in the parallel universe. Hey guys, now that Matt has vaporized, we can finally detach all the components from the system. Yeah, and make sure you do the same thing with this darn auto layout thing. He'd have a heart attack.
Oh no!
Where's your hair, dude?
Don't even get me started.